We're still in the first quarter of 2025, and somehow it feels like it's passing by lightning fast and extremely slow all at once. Maybe I feel this way because I'm way too online, but going offline kind of feels like burying my head in the sand. I definitely made a point of blocking accounts who feed into the stress, but don't really offer solutions for what we're going through. They kind of feel like the Democrats of content creation, wearing the pink suits and holding signs that say, this is not normal. But we know this. But what should we be doing right now? That's what I need to know. There are so many things to worry about. Potential global economic instability, probable military action, the possibility of a signal group chat creating a world-changing event. I'm hoping for the best. Hoping for the best is really important to me, but I'm also preparing for whatever challenge that may come about. It's a habit that I learned from my husband. He's not a prepper, but he's always prepared. It does drive me nuts sometimes that he always finds the weak points in things. I used to think that it was him being negative all the time, but really it's how his brain works. He's in a constant state of making sure that his girls are safe. I think it's because he's a veteran of Ejército de Tierra and La Guardia Civil. I think when you have military and police training, it shifts your mind and you end up always on the lookout for danger. He taught me that being proactive is not about paranoia. It's really about doing practical things to ensure peace of mind. No one likes to dwell on the worst case scenarios. It's easier to scroll social media hoping that things will somehow work themselves out, but history has shown that stability isn't guaranteed. Economic downturns, they happen. Conflicts, they escalate, and supply chains break down. I need you to remember what happened in 2020. Our household, we were prepared way back in November of 2019. Instead of waiting for a crisis to force action, preparation allowed us to meet the challenge with confidence. Remember the tariffs from this year and how fickle the government has been about them? It's pretty clear how unstable things can become with just a tweet. And who knows what could be next? Being prepared, it's not about fear. It's really about taking control. The worst case scenario isn't over preparing. The worst case scenario is being caught off guard when you could have been ready already. What are we getting ready for? Whatever may come. And if you need something to zone in on, how about Governor Ron DeSantis from Florida flying over to Idaho, pushing for a convention of states? A convention of states is a process that's outlined in Article 5 of the Constitution. It allows state legislators to bypass Congress and propose constitutional amendments. If 34 states request it, Congress must call the convention. Governors can't call a convention, only state legislators can. This process has never been used. I know I made a video about rewriting the Constitution, but it was meant for after this shit show gets flushed down the toilet. I realize that it's under the ruse of balancing the budget, but do we really believe that? In my opinion, it'd be a great way to change term limits. I'm just saying, I haven't found any national news about it, but I have provided some local news links in the description. If you're not resting, you should be protesting. And no matter which one of those you're doing, you should be preparing. You're not an extreme survivalist who invests in underground bunkers and hoard years worth of supplies. You just need to make manageable, smart decisions that fit into your everyday life. The easiest thing you should be doing right now is to stock up on essential food and water. This is the foundation of preparedness. Non-perishable food items that don't require elaborate cooking are what you really need to have. It's also important to stock items that provide comfort, things like coffee and snacks. They're going to help you to maintain your morale. I do love a snack. You don't need to fill your home with an excessive amount of supplies. Personally, we've chosen to build up for 3 to 6 months of shelf-stable foods. We're not buying freeze-dried meals or anything of that sort. We're buying foods that we'll actually eat and rotate through. Rice, beans, pasta, oats, canned proteins like tuna and chicken. We're not preppers, we're prepared. Also, think about things like a manual, can opener, honey, nuts, seeds, and please don't forget spices. If you have to live off of these things, don't make it worse by eating them unseasoned. Lack of seasoning will mess with you mentally, and you don't want that. What we do want is to prepare for boredom. Don't overlook the psychology of all of this. If access to digital entertainment is limited, you're going to need something to keep you occupied. Simple activities like reading a book or puzzles, board games, they can be the very distraction that you didn't know you needed. And it's become quite clear that we can't rely on the government to protect us, be it from natural disasters, irresponsible corporations, or any number of things. So we want to make sure we put together backups for our food and for our utilities. Don't assume that tap water will always be available. A rainwater collection system paired with water filters can reduce your dependency on these systems. If it doesn't rain much where you are, I don't know what to tell you. Power outages, they can occur. Solar powered chargers, candles, matches, battery packs, crank powered radios, they're going to keep your devices running. You want to have access to information. I have an Amazon link. I'm just kidding. We've divested from Amazon. We've divested from Amazon, right? We really should be divesting from the places that created the problem that we're in right now. There are a lot of other things that you can gather to be prepared. I think what I've mentioned is realistic for most people. If you're looking for more ways to prepare, there's so much information on this very internet. If you know of any helpful resources, please mention them in the comments to help everyone in this community. No matter what happens, we have to make sure that we're building a community network, because one of the most overlooked aspects of survival these days is community. If you ever watched a single episode of The Walking Dead, you know this. Self-sufficiency isn't the answer. It's mutual aid, barter systems, shared resources. They increase stability. The key is not just about what's owned, but who you can trust. Being prepared doesn't mean living in fear. It doesn't mean closing your eyes either. Instead, it offers a sense of control in a world that feels out of control. Doing these things can really create a safety net that reduces the stress and increases your resilience. Being proactive today prevents panic tomorrow. And if in the end the worst never comes, then at least there'll be extra food in the pantry and a little less worry in your mind. Preparation is not about withdrawing from the world or succumbing to fear. It's about embracing the unknown with confidence. In 2025, the goal is not just to survive, but to do it with intelligence and be adaptable. I know it's hard, but a bit of optimism is needed too. After all, preparedness is just another way of ensuring that no matter what happens, life goes on. How did we get here? There's a lot of historical alarm bells ringing right now, and people don't seem to be angry enough. They're still hoping that the systems will do what they're supposed to. Allow me to help you understand that they aren't. The systems only work when what they are working against has respect for them. Please know that the oligarchy tour is screaming, it's time to help yourselves. The U.S. has several constitutional, legal, and institutional systems designed to prevent authoritarianism. However, their effectiveness depends on the commitment of individuals to uphold democratic principles. We've lost the judicial. We've lost Congress. We've lost institutions of education. We've lost the lawyers. What we have left is you. The government is telling you they're not here to help. So stay prepared, stay grounded, and stay connected. Today's assignment is to meet a neighbor you don't know by the end of this week. This is the very first step in building a community. The second assignment is to watch this, because you probably missed it, and subscribe if you haven't already. Okay, bye.